Hello, and welcome to Intern Views. My name is Michael O'Leary, and I'm a student intern here at Abington CAM. This program is designed so students can conduct intern views with interesting individuals from the school and from the community. Joining me today is Mr. Cutter. He is not only a teacher here at the high school, but also the ultimate Frisbee coach. Welcome to the show, Mr. Cutter.
Happy to be here.
All right. So, what is ultimate Frisbee?
So ultimate Frisbee is a team sport. It's played with 7 against 7 on a 140-yard field. There are end zones just like in football, and you just gotta pass the disc down the field and score in the end zone. And it sounds simple, but it's a lot more complicated than that.
What are the practices like?
Practices, it's like any other sport. Show up, you start to warm up, throw a little bit, run, do some dynamic stretching, and then generally we work on a skill, something I think that the team should learn, whether it be an offensive strategy, a defensive strategy. We work on that for a bit, and then we play and try and put those strategies into action so that when we face our competitors, we can beat them. It's the ultimate goal.
And how long are those usually?
Practices, I'm not a proponent of super long practices because Frisbee itself is very intense. You do a lot of running. It's very easy to get burnt out. So I try to keep them to about an hour and a half. I mean, it's a good enough time to warm up, learn something new, play, and not be completely burnt out by the end of it.
I agree. Long practices are not fun. What is a normal season like?
We play anywhere between 15 and 18 games, 2 to 3 games a week. We have some tournaments on the weekends, and those are a lot of fun. But generally, just like any other sports season.
You mentioned tournaments. Where is the furthest you can go for a tournament?
So States is usually out in Western Mass, in Northampton, which is about a 2.5-hour drive, but that's the furthest we go for a tournament. Generally, there's some good ones. There's usually one in Natick, which is pretty close. We've been to Rhode Island for a tournament or two, but again, that's only like an hour drive, so not too far.
Nice. Well, with a long bus ride, the team must be really close to each other. So what's the team aspect like?
A team can't win unless they get along and respect each other. So I'm always encouraging team building, conversations, hanging out. Like if you're not friends with each other, it's going to be hard to win. So you got to keep any personal issues you may have off the field, and just we have the one common goal: hang out, have fun, and win games.
It's a good mindset to put to it. Yep. I see you already mentioned how many people are on the field, but how many people are usually on the team?
So the ideal ultimate team is going to have about 15 people on it, because during practices you want to be able to do 7-on-7, and in case anyone misses a practice for whatever reason, you have a couple extra people to fill in those spots. And I mean, you don't want to have a massive bench, because if you have a huge bench, some people aren't going to get to play, and it's not good for anybody, and it's not good for the program. So
true.
15 is usually ideal. Yeah.
That's good. I didn't want to be on the bench the whole game.
No.
Because when I was playing basketball and was younger, I was just always on the bench. But that's also not a bad thing, because you can always be good to the team.
Yeah. No, even people who are on the bench, like you can cheer the team on, you show up to practices, you work hard, you learn the skills, you get the benefit of being on a team and making friends. So it's not, a lot of people get upset when they're on the bench a lot of the time, but you're still getting so much out of it than you would be if you didn't play. So.
Well, how popular is ultimate Frisbee among other high school sports?
We have a decent league in this area. The immediate towns, there aren't a lot of teams, but in the South Shore League that we have going right now, we have Bridgewater Raynham, we have Scituate, we have Cohasset. So there are plenty of local teams to play. And then we also, Zavarian Brothers High School has a great team that we play every year. BC High usually has a team that we play. They have a great program. So there are plenty of people to play.
Sounds like a lot of teams. That's awesome.
Yep.
So on a different note, why did you decide to become a coach?
I am a competitor. I love playing games, and I like winning games, and it doesn't matter the game. Sports I treat just like I'd treat like a game of chess, right? It's all about tactics. You need to, as a coach, you need to know the best people to have out on the field at all times. You need to know who's good in every situation. You need to know your individual players, and you need to be able to strategize so that you can succeed with the players that you have. And that's my favorite thing about coaching, is just learning the tactics of the game and being able to execute those tactics to win. And that's why I became a coach. Plus, I just love interacting with, I'm a teacher, I love teaching, I love interacting with teenagers, and that's just another way for me to get to know people, which I also love.
I agree with everything you said about sports. We have such similar mindsets. So, has Abington ever won a state championship for Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, back in 2019, that was my second season coaching. We, in 2018, that was my first year coaching. We came in like 4th or 5th, but we had an undefeated season, so I knew that we had potential. And when we got to states in 2019, everyone was ready. We had another undefeated season, and that was just our year. The team was great. We executed everything we needed to do, and we won, and it was awesome.
Hoping for another one of those seasons this year.
Absolutely.
So I know Ultimate Frisbee signups were over last Friday, but let's say a student wants to join the team. What should they do?
That is something I would have to get a little more information on. I am not entirely sure what the process would be, so just come talk to me if you're still interested, and we can get you set up, I think.
Also, on the same note of signing up, I heard that there's a lot of students this year. Are there going to be any cuts to the team?
It's just that any varsity sport, cuts are always on the table. I don't like to make cuts. I like to be able to get everybody in that can play, that wants to play, that has a desire to play. And I think cuts are counterproductive to that goal. But with any varsity sport, there's only so many people you can have on the team. So cuts are always a possibility, yeah.
True. Well, that's all the time we have here today. Thank you, Mr. Cutter, for being my guest. You've been watching Intern Views. Until our next show, have a great day.